Hello, I'm Dr. Broderson, and I'm teaching IS 101, IS 115, and CIT 238 this semester. If you've made it to this video, it means that you've made it to my syllabus page, my online syllabus page at dbroderson.com. That's all you have to type in. It will redirect you to sylb.dbroderson.com. Okay? So, how does all of this work? Well, the syllabus pages begin with a home page that covers all the general information that applies to all of my classes. My schedule, if you click on that, it will let you know what my actual schedule is for this particular semester, okay, through a calendar kind of a format. IS 101 gives you details that are unique to the IS 101 class, IS, which is Intro to Computers. IS 115 gives you details that are unique to the IS 115 class, Introduction to Programming. CIT 238 gives you details that are unique to mobile device programming on the Android. Okay, so I'll just click back here to go to home. And down here we'll look at what we have. Okay, you need to understand that this syllabus is a living document and subject to change is deemed appropriate with advance notification. Basically what that means is the syllabus is going to change through the course of the semester. We may change the timeline a little bit or something along those lines, but the changes generally occur because student needs need to be met. I have to address student needs to help to make you a little more successful. Any change that I make will not be damaging to you whatsoever. Okay? So, as I said, I'm Dr. David Broderson. My phone number is 651-3151. Not likely that you're going to be able to get a hold of me using that phone number because I handle assessment for 70 programs here at CSN. So I am all over the place talking to other faculty. So it's better to email me. You can email me using Canvas. If I don't respond in 24 hours, please email me using this email address right here, david.broderson@csn.edu. Of course, here's the website. The office location, if you click on this, it's going to give you a map to how to find my office. See, there it is. This is the C building of the Henderson campus. There's the big star, which is a glass window at an angle on the top of the roof. Go to the second floor into the faculty offices, and here's the elevator. So you go through the main lobby, pick up the elevator, make a little hook into the faculty offices, and I'm this one back here in the very, very back. Okay, and of course, here are some directions as well. So let me go ahead and back up. Well, actually, I opened a new tab for that, so let me close the tab. For my office hours, all you have to do is see my schedule to see what my office hours are. Okay, if you're caught texting messages, you will be asked to leave the class for those students who are in my online classes. In the event of an absent, or in my absence, I will notify you through email if I cannot meet the class. If I cannot meet the class, please go to the online resources to complete the assigned work. It is conceivable that a quickly striking illness will prevent any kind of notification that I'm not going to make a class. On such occasions, show up to the class, of course, and if I'm not there, say within 30 minutes, because that's, I think, is the deadline for professors, full professors, if I am not there, just go on out into the open computer lab and do work. There's plenty of homework for you guys to be able to do. And accept my apology in advance for you not getting the notification in those kinds of circumstances, because I know it is a nuisance to drive out to a campus, whether it's Henderson, Cheyenne, or whatever, and then finding that the instructor is not going to be there. You're gonna, obviously you've opened up this here page. This one has a picture of me on it. The one that you're viewing right now doesn't, because I didn't include a video of myself while I was making this recording. So, I've already talked about the introductions. I've already talked about contacting me. The late assignment policy basically says no late assignments. The makeup policy says no makeup on late assignments because I don't accept late assignments. If you have an exam that's coming up and you know for sure you can't make it to that exam, contact me and we will make arrangements for you to take it. I don't do exams locked into a particular time of day per se. I guess I give you 24 hours to complete most exams, all right, unless something weird is happening in the class and I have to pin down cheaters. But for the most part, you're going to have enough time to be able to complete that exam. maybe a 24-hour period or something like that. I'll say, all right, the exam is scheduled, it's a 20-minute exam, or it's a half-hour exam, or it's a 2-hour exam that you must take within a 24-hour window. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay. Here's the grade scale that I use for, from a general point of view. I use points. Okay, when I'm talking about, let's go to the method of evaluation. I use points to keep track of your grades, so it's possible for everybody to get an A. I do not grade on a curve, all right? It's possible for your grade to be decreased by 1 full grade point by being disruptive in class. It's also possible for your grade to be decreased by 1 full grade point for disrespecting the professor or student peers. If it occurs a second time in any of these particular situations, you will receive an F for the whole class. You do receive the grade that you earn, so that if you receive points, if your scores put you at a point to where you're just short of a B, you're going to get a B minus, and there is nothing that I can do about that. Well, actually there is. There's nothing that I am willing to do about that. I do not support grade inflation because it is unfair to the students who actually earned their grade. Okay? So I also don't do extra credit, except for maybe in one. Nope, that's not even one case. I stopped doing extra credit because, again, it's unfair. If somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, look, I need to get a couple of extra points for my overall grade so that I can get the B plus in the class, could you give me extra credit?" Absolutely not. And the reason is because your peers didn't get the opportunity to do the extra credit. Keeping track of extra credit is it's just a lot of work given the number of people that I have to teach each semester, so I eliminated doing extra credit. The academic or the attendance policy is you need to attend the classes. All right. If you're taking them online, if you're taking them in the classroom, there likely will be material in the classroom that's going to be covered that's not in the text that will help you to better understand the textbook, what's in the textbook. Okay. I take attendance online basically by looking at the logs that are provided to me by Canvas to see when you've logged in, when you complete quizzes, and that kind of stuff. Academic integrity, we all know what that is. Don't cheat, okay? If you're in question, just come on down here and read some of these examples. It'll help you to figure it out. If you're about ready to do something that could be seen as cheating, contact me. And probably what I'm going to say is, you know what, you're really pushing the envelope on this thing, but here's what we'll do. Go ahead and do that, but do a citation and let me know where you got the information from and write a little report on what that means to you. For example, if you have a little block of code that you copied from somebody that you don't know how else to even write that little block of code, you can say in the comments, code acquired from web resource, and then in the code you're going to say this line does this, that line does that, and so on and so forth, so that I know for sure you understand the code that you're using. All right. The tentative schedule for the semester, as I said earlier, is going to be posted up in these links. Okay. So come back down here. CSN has policies on student rights and responsibilities. You can find those policies at that web link. College Library Services have tons and tons of workshops that will help you with research papers. If you want to see when the workshops are scheduled, or you want to see about other library information, check into the library. We have 3 of them on the main campuses, or you can click on this link right here and it'll give you a list of the current workshops. Excess credit fee. What does that mean? It means that if you take a lot more classes than what a certificate of achievement requires, or an associate degree requires, or a bachelor's degree requires, they're going to start charging you extra money for taking a class. For example, if you're working on a certificate of achievement and you have more than 45 credits under your belt already, when you take another class toward the certificate of achievement, they're going to charge you a surcharge. They're going to charge extra money for taking that class. Why on earth would they do such a thing? Well, it helps people to stay on track, basically. I'm a great case in point. I took 125 credits before I even got my associate's degree, which only required 63 at the time. Okay? What a waste of money. I could have been moving on to working. Well, I would have completed my bachelor's in that time. So this helps you to stay on track. You can, if you want to, you can appeal. You know, if you fall within any of these categories right here, we do have a system in which you can appeal and ask that it be waived in some way. Look at this information. It'll help you to draft your appeal. Okay? Come on down here to withdrawing from the class. I cannot withdraw you from the class, so you need to consult the schedule or the calendar in the CSN website to figure out when the deadline for withdrawing from a class is, and make sure that you do so before that deadline passes. All right? Clicking here will take you to that schedule. Cell phone, don't use cell phones in class. If I catch you talking on the telephone or cell phone or texting while I'm doing a lecture, you're going to be asked to leave the class, basically. If you do it a second time, you will get an F for the class. You'll be asked not to come back. All right? Persistent cell phone usage also will count as a disruption. Sometimes you're going to have that cell phone available because you're having an issue at home. One of your relatives is sick or something like that. Make sure the ringer is turned off. If the phone rings, ask them to hold for a second, leave the classroom, go outside and complete your conversation. Laptops are permitted in my classes. All right, I don't have a problem with them being there, but if you use that laptop for something other than taking notes or completing assignments, and taking notes while I'm lecturing or completing assignments when I'm not lecturing, such as maybe playing a game or something along those lines, if you do that, then you're not going to be allowed to bring your laptop to class anymore. If you do it a second time, such as with an iPad or something along those lines, then you'll receive an F in the class. Surfing the web, listening to music in the headphones, or sleeping during a lecture counts as a disruption. You'll lose a letter grade. A second time will result in an F in the course. All right? I realize that this is pretty strict, but these things are insanely disruptive to other students in the class, and I don't want the rest of the class suffering for this kind of behavior by a student. Tutorial services. 2 places that you can go for tutoring. One is to CSN Tutoring, or you can go to the CSN CIT webpage and get tutoring that is unique to our programming classes. They will give you the details of where to go and who you can talk to, how you schedule a tutor, and all of that. The Disability Resources Center. If you have a documented disability, here's a number or a webpage link that you can contact. And they will also hire people who can help other folks that do have disabilities. So you can look at that as a possibility for additional income. Okay? Online software tutorials. Basically what that is these links here are all places that provide training on the software that we teach here at CSN, which is really, really cool. So if you have something that's you're just not getting it, you can go to W3 Schools or Code Academy or Tutorials Plus. All of these things are free. You can go to these places and look at a short little tutorial that might help clarify the challenge that you're having. Okay? Submitting assignments. Carefully read and follow the directions for completing and submitting your assignments. Reading and following directions is part of all assignments. If you do not carefully follow the directions, 1, you will lose points in the range of 0 to all of them on your assignment, and 2, you will delay getting your grade for your work. Note that failure to correctly name files will prevent you from being able to submit your projects or assignments, resulting in a missed deadline and a 0 grade. This is very, very important, okay? And the reason that file naming is so important is Canvas allows me to download everything in one big zipped file. And when I unpack that zipped file, if 2 students have their file names that are the same, one student's file is going to overwrite the other student's file. And consequently, I can't grade it, all right? Secondly, if they have a name that doesn't make any sense, I don't have any idea who you are. I just delete the file, and you end up getting a 0 for the grade. So make sure that you name those things correctly, all right? And of course, the naming conventions will be mentioned in the individual syllabi pages for the class. All right, the learning management system is Canvas. To get into Canvas, all you have to do is go to csn.edu and click on the online campus link. Or if you can click here and go straight into Canvas. If you're having problems getting into Canvas, you can just go to the computer lab, any of our computer labs, and computer lab personnel will help you get it all figured out. Okay? Storing your files and coursework. When you're working on a project on a CSN machine, work on it. Work on your project on the C drive. The moment you leave that machine, though, make sure you take that project and save it either on your USB flash drive or save it on your student drive that you have assigned to you, which you can find out about from the lab aids. Do not leave that thing on the hard drive, figuring that you can come back to it later, because it will be gone when you come back. Those hard drives are reformatted every single time that machine is shut off, okay? And they all get turned off at night. Printing services. Printing services, they're going to charge you to print, basically, is what it comes down to. By virtue of enrolling in a class at CSN, you have a certain amount of money that has been deposited in your printing services account so that you can print. Keep an eye on that account, because you don't want to find yourself in a situation in which you need to print something and you can't. In my classes, you will never find yourself in that situation because I do not take hard copy of anything. Okay? Class policies. Some of my classes are held solely over the internet, while others are solely on campus or a hybrid of the two. You may use the mail in the learning management system to contact me or ask questions. If I don't respond within 24 hours, please use my CSN email address. Please realize that the deadlines are strict because it's impossible to correct all the student work if students are handing it in late. Moreover, I like to post solutions to problems after all the students have turned in the assignment. Late assignments delay posting solutions until the last student submission is received. You should check the calendar and discussion postings on a daily basis and allocate your time accordingly to make sure that you get everything done on time. All right? Every course that I teach is a single person course, meaning that you do not use other people to help you get your work done. Don't collaborate on a solution. All right? Failure to adhere to this policy will result in a 0 for the exam. If you collaborate on an exam, for example, it may lead to your removal from the course. A couple semesters ago, I flunked 4 people doing this. They appealed, and when the committee was all said and done, they said, oh yeah, you guys cheated. Sorry, you're going to be getting an F for those courses, or for that course. And then they were put on academic probation. Finally, all my courses require internet access, obviously, okay, because you're looking at this web page. This access is your responsibility. And if you can't get internet access at home, remember, we have computer labs. Come on down to a computer lab and take advantage of them, all right? If you're having a problem with the computer in the computer lab, let me know so that I can take corrective action. Lastly, as an important note, I would like to say that if you have any concerns about the course or me, please contact me first. If something's bothering you, please let me know first so that I can deal with it. I've been teaching here for over 30 years, and I'm pretty darn good at solving problems that meet the needs of both the students and, of course, the limitations that we have in each course, because I can't solve everything. But to date, I just don't remember a situation where I haven't been able to solve the problem if the student came to me first. If you guys don't talk to me, there's no way I can possibly solve the problem. Last year I had a student who never even contacted me, never asked a single question or whatever. They went straight to the department chair saying they didn't like the way the assignments were running, and the department chair said, did you talk to Dave about it? And they said, well, actually, no, I didn't. And so the department chair said, go back and talk to Dave. And she refused to. She flat out refused to talk to me, and the result was she didn't get her homework done. And there was another student in the same class in a similar circumstance. That individual did talk to me, and we had no problem getting her up to speed so that she could get her homework done and, of course, answer questions having to do with the subject matter. All right, so that is the introduction. I will post videos for the other 3 when I get those completed. Still working on my syllabi, still programming my syllabi right now at the college. So with that, happy coding. Glad that you're all in my classes. Look forward to seeing you throughout the semester, or at least hearing from you.